Humans were catalogued as a timid, peaceful species in the Galactic Federation's Species Registry, rated just 2 out of 16 on the Aggression Index. For centuries, the Terran Union's behavior seemed to support this assessment. They had not waged war among themselves in generations and had achieved planetary unification long before mastering faster-than-light FTL travel. Unlike many species, they responded to first contact with enthusiasm rather than hostility. Since joining the Federation, humans had been the epitome of diplomacy, resolving disputes with compromise and negotiation. When the expansionist Zanuck laid claim to a Terran mining colony, humanity handed over the planet in exchange for a modest annual fee, avoiding any conflict. They even transformed the Zanuck into valuable trading partners. Similarly, when the paranoid Hodel imprisoned Terran diplomats on baseless charges of espionage, the humans didn't resort to force. Instead, they orchestrated a prisoner exchange, trading minor smugglers for their ambassadors. Opinions on humanity varied. Some admired their pacifism and tact, while others viewed their unwillingness to fight as a sign of weakness. I was firmly in the latter camp. To my mind, only a lack of strength or intelligence could explain their aversion to war. Then the Devourers came. These parasitic invaders drained stars of their energy, leaving lifeless systems in their wake. The galaxy's most militaristic species formed an alliance to resist them, but even our combined forces were devastated. Our fleet, one of the finest in the Federation, was no match. Our weapons barely scratched their ships, and heavy losses forced a retreat. With no reinforcements forthcoming, I assumed we were doomed. Then, unexpectedly, human ships arrived. Our sensors detected only 5 vessels and insufficient force for any meaningful engagement. My first officer, BZ, mocked the humans, suggesting they might try to talk the Devourers to death. But I welcomed their help, even if only to cover our retreat. When I hailed their lead ship, I was greeted by Commander Mikkel Roth of the Terran Union. His declaration of intent shocked me. "Retreat?" he asked, baffled. "We're here to engage and eliminate the enemy." I was dumbfounded. "With 5 ships? Commander, their fleet numbers in the thousands. Your peaceful species cannot possibly understand warfare." Commander Roth chuckled darkly. "Peaceful? General, we avoid war because we know what we're capable of, and because no one has deserved that. Yet." There was something unsettling about his tone. I dismissed it as delusion, expecting the humans to face a swift annihilation. However, Roth casually mentioned their secret weapon, a nanite bomb. The device had a small chance of catastrophic failure, he admitted. But it was designed to self-destruct after a few seconds. Before I could protest, the humans fired. The missile passed harmlessly through the Devourer formation, then detonated. The explosion obliterated a third of the enemy fleet instantly. The remaining ships were consumed by a wave of nanites, which dismantled them molecule by molecule. The once unstoppable Devourers were reduced to nothing in moments. My crew and I stared in stunned silence. Humanity, previously thought weak, had just unleashed a weapon of unimaginable power. They had the means to annihilate entire fleets and perhaps the galaxy. Commander Roth grinned. "Next time, invite us to the party earlier. You owe us a beer." The Terran ships departed, leaving me grappling with a horrifying realization humanity's pacifism wasn't a sign of weakness. They avoided war because it was too easy for them to win. The Federation Senate convened in a state of panic after receiving news of the battle. When the Jatari messenger described the devastation wrought by the humans, the chamber erupted in disbelief. Ambassador Nikki Johnson of the Terran Union sat silently, a faint smirk on her lips. "How could this be possible?" demanded a senator. The messenger hesitated. "The humans. They built a weapon. It was like they harnessed a supernova." The Zanuck ambassador scoffed. "Ridiculous. If humans had such power, they would already rule the galaxy." Ambassador Johnson finally spoke, her voice calm yet firm. "We've always had these weapons. We just never wanted to use them. Humanity has a history of devastating wars. We learned to suppress our destructive impulses and seek peace, but we knew one day we'd face an enemy who wouldn't leave us a choice." The chamber fell silent. Humanity's duality, capable of both immense destruction and profound empathy, was unnerving. Then Johnson delivered a chilling ultimatum. "The Devourers will return. To ensure they don't, We will strike their homeworld with antimatter bombs. There will be no survivors. The declaration sparked outrage. Even the Federation's most aggressive species balked at the idea of genocide. That is unacceptable, I shouted. We must try diplomacy first. This is not our way. Johnson's gaze hardened. Diplomacy? How many civilizations have they already wiped out? This is survival. Better them than us. With that, she left, leaving the Senate reeling. The galaxy had misjudged humanity. Behind their smiles and handshakes lay a species that had mastered destruction but chose restraint. Yet, as I reflected on their actions, one thing became clear. While their weapons were terrifying, the true danger was their resolve. The humans didn't avoid war out of weakness. They avoided it because, if pushed too far, they could end it for everyone.